Investing in Bitcoin mining companies could be a roller coaster ride with massive dips yet massive gains. Is now the time to invest? Let's dive into it. What's up guys, it's Kai here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about money, investing, and finance. If these type of videos interest you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell to stay updated on upcoming videos. For those of you that are coming back to my channel, you guys know that I'm heavily invested into Bitcoin mining companies. They hold up a large portion of my portfolio and I've covered them before and they are very volatile. So with all the market diving that's been happening in the past couple weeks, I've been getting some questions regarding what am I doing regarding these Bitcoin mining stocks and what kind of moves am I making. So in this video, I'll be covering what Bitcoin mining stocks I'm personally invested in, and I'll be covering what I've been doing during these massive market crashes. And finally, I'll be covering what my plans are in the future, and I'll be dropping some price targets that I see on how long I'll be holding these Bitcoin mining stocks. So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. These are just my views and for entertainment purposes only. So if you're ready to get the video started, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps support the channel, and let's hop into it. Alright guys, so one of the major Bitcoin mining companies that I'm invested in is Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol RIOT. We'll be calling them Riot. The second one I'm invested in is called Marathon Digital Holdings, ticker symbol MARA. We'll be referring to them as MARA. Now these two companies are two of the largest Bitcoin mining companies in North America. Both of these companies currently have some of the fastest Bitcoin mining rates, and they're forecasted to keep on increasing their rates throughout the remaining of the year and into early next year. They're also both traded on the major US stock exchanges. And just recently, I picked up a third Bitcoin mining company, which is Argo Blockchain. They're traded as a pink slip stock, not available on major US exchanges yet, but they're kind of cheaper in comparison to the other one, so I just picked up a few of those for a bargain deal. If you're interested more on Argo Blockchain, I have another video going over it. I'll put a link to it here, but go check that out after you finish watching this video. Okay, so covering the stock market, what's happening in the past 2 weeks, the tech sector has been taking a massive hit. Bitcoin dove, compounded with that, caused these Bitcoin mining companies to dive. Both MARA and Riot dropped anywhere from 30 to 40%. Being that these stocks are a large part of my portfolio, I have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars just during this short 2-week span. But what did I do? To understand that, first you gotta understand why I invested in these Bitcoin mining companies to start with. You see, the Bitcoin mining companies, they just mine Bitcoin. The true value behind them is the Bitcoin that they mine. So looking at the long run, the big picture, these Bitcoin companies will keep on going up as long as Bitcoin keeps on going up. I invested in these Bitcoin mining companies because I see that Bitcoin will continue to rise at least through the ending of this year. So if I'm just looking at what's happening in these short weeks, I'm not too concerned. I didn't buy these Bitcoin mining stocks to see what the price is gonna be at the end of the month or even at the end of 2 or 3 months. I'm buying them to hold to at least to the end of late this year. Another thing I've been doing during these crashes is I've been buying the dips. I've been buying some MARA call options when they dive big. If you're following me on my Instagram, Kai Vaughn Official, I post my trades there. So if you're interested in following along in my trades when I buy on the dips, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram there. But yeah, I've been buying options on the dips because big picture wise, I believe Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. So therefore, I believe that these Bitcoin mining companies are going to continue to go up. And also these options, by buying options when they dive, I get to kind of leverage my money to control more shares to take advantage of more profits when the stock goes up. But I do have an exit strategy. So even though that I believe that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up, I just believe that now is a very critical time that it is making a fast run up. Therefore, taking these Bitcoin mining companies an even faster rise up. So I'm going to go over some price points real quick regarding on how I see what my price targets are for Riot and MARA. If you're interested in investing in Bitcoin mining stocks such as Riot and MARA, you can go ahead and invest with them with Webull. I got a link down below. You get a free 2 stocks, potentially worth up to $3,800 with your first $100 deposit. Also, if you're looking at investing in cryptocurrency itself, Bitcoin, I personally use the Gemini app. It works especially for those who live in Hawaii like me, because Hawaii has some weird laws about Bitcoin, but Gemini is authorized to work with you Hawaii people out there. So link in the description, you get a free $10 for using that link. A while back, I made a video on Riot. I'll put a link to it here. You can check that out here. But basically, I went over on how Riot hit its high of about $30 when Bitcoin hit its high about $20,000 all the way back in 2017. So if you look at this chart here, we got Riot, which is the blue line here, and Bitcoin, which is the purple line. You can go ahead and look back in 2017 as Bitcoin went and took its run here. Riot went ahead and followed the exact same thing. Once Bitcoin peaked at about $19,000, Riot peaked at about $28.50. And once it went back down, Riot went back down, stayed down. And now we can go ahead and see, again, it's happening as Bitcoin is taking its run up. You can see their peaks match. They can go ahead and match here. So as Bitcoin continues to increase for the next few months, I'd expect Riot to increase some more for the next few months. So all of these drops that are happening is like normal. Bitcoin is very volatile, and these Bitcoin mining companies are even more volatile. But the whole factor of what they're based off of is the projection of where Bitcoin is going. So I took that logic and said, you know, if Bitcoin went to $40,000, Riot should double and go to 60, and so on and so forth. And more or less, Riot has typically done that. So I'm sure you heard of all the Bitcoin price predictions where they can go to 100,000, 200, 300,000, some even 500,000 predictions for Bitcoin. Just sticking to this basic thought process that I used for my initial prediction, if a $20,000 Bitcoin roughly equals a $30 stock price in Riot, what would a $100,000 Bitcoin do? So using that same logic, $100,000 Bitcoin is 5 times more than its 20,000 value. So if you 5 times the Riot value back then, which was $30, you could potentially be looking at a $150 share price of Riot blockchain stock. Now, this is not very far-fetched because just recently, maybe about a month back or so, Riot was already trading at $80 a share, and Bitcoin hasn't even passed the $60,000 market. So this is totally in the realm of possibility. Imagine if Bitcoin's price hit 200,000. Using that same logic, Riot's share price would now be about $300 a share. So if you look at it in the big picture, what does it matter if the stock is $50 today or $40 today or even $60 today if I'm aiming for a price target of $150 to $300? I know that's a real wide range, but I'll come to on what I'm looking at specifically on when I plan to exit these trades. Now let's hop over into Mara. Mara, I analyzed a whole different way. I'll put a link to that video here. You can go check that out. But what I basically did with Mara is I took their earnings and I kind of divided it into how much shares they have out and then what are they projected to trade at. So basically we ran the model off of a $30,000 Bitcoin and it came out to about $100 a share once Mara comes to their complete mining capacity towards the end of this year. Now that was based off of a $30,000 Bitcoin at $100 a share. So Bitcoin is already knocking on $60,000. So even say, let's say it goes to $90,000. That's 3 times that $30,000, which I did that analysis on. So that will put Mara's share price at about $300 per share. And that's with Bitcoin not even breaking the 6-figure market. So that's just to put it in perspective. Now, who knows what these Bitcoin mining stocks will be at once or if Bitcoin even hits 300,000, 400,000. Who knows where it's gonna go? But, you know, this rocket ship is not gonna last forever. I'm just planning to take full advantage of this Bitcoin run so far. So to put it in perspective, every 4 years, Bitcoin takes a nice run, which happens after this halving event. So typically this halving event happens, it happened last year in May. Bitcoin takes a nice run up to about a year and a half. It peaks, and then it'll come back to like a lower level. So I'm just trying to take advantage of this massive run up that we're currently in. Okay, so here's a quick look at what the charts look like. The blue line here is the Bitcoin run that happened from 2016 to 2020. This is when the last halving event happened. And this orange line is when the halving event happened last year in 2020. So right now we're currently on this run right here. So compared to the last halving event, this is still the beginning. So it still has a massive way to run up here, you know, if we want to assume that it follows the same cycle. So what I did is I took a look at the last halving event that happened back in 2016 and how much days it took for Bitcoin to hit its peak. It took roughly about 505 days. And then I added that to when Bitcoin halved last year in May. And I added about 505 days. That ends up to be around in October. So my exit strategy for these Bitcoin mining stocks is I'm gonna keep an eye on two things. I'm gonna be looking at the time frame. So I'm gonna be looking at around September and October. And I'm gonna be seeing what Bitcoin is doing there, if it's still taking off, if it's leveling out. I'll also be looking at the price of Bitcoin. Once it goes to 100,000, maybe 200,000, I'll be getting a little squirrely and looking to take profits on my Bitcoin mining stocks because I'm not sure how high this rocket ship's gonna go. And especially when these two correlate. If it starts getting really high around September, October, I'll be looking to exit my positions then. You know, and along those same lines with the time and price of Bitcoin, it could also go the other way. So if I see Bitcoin just start diving, that might be a signal for me to sell out of my Bitcoin mining companies. I'll be keeping an eye on that. I know Bitcoin normally dives 20 to 30%, but if it starts diving like below 50%, I might start getting worried myself and dip out. I don't know, I'll have to analyze it at that time. Maybe I'll just buy more options like I normally do. So for those of you that are looking, is it still a good time to buy Bitcoin mining stocks? Well, that's up for you guys to make, but if you put it in the perspective of it doesn't matter if you buy this stock at $30 or $40. If you believe it's gonna go to $200 to $300, you just gotta decide and understand what you're investing in and make that decision for yourself. For those of you that already have these Bitcoin mining companies, that may put some perspective on whether you should hold or maybe help with some anxiety when these massive market swings are happening. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's a good time to invest in Bitcoin mining companies? Do you believe Bitcoin is still going to take a run up, or is it going to end up diving and all of this is going to crash? If you found this video helpful, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and share this with somebody if you think they could take advantage of this opportunity. All right, guys, that's it for the video. See you in the next video.